KPRC2 and our partners at American Furniture Warehouse have been awarding $2,500 scholarships to high school seniors all year long.
And the fun continues as the school year wraps up. Here we are surprising another outstanding student. This is our 19th senior scholarship winner from the class of 2025.
She is academically ranked 5th in her class of more than 500 students. She is head drum major for the marching band, and she holds a first-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Watch out.
Yeah, don't mess with her. Rochelle Turner had the chance to meet this remarkable young lady and surprise her as this week's senior scholarship winner.
Hey guys, I'm at Westfield High School and I'm with Vanessa. She's with American Furniture Warehouse and we are getting ready to surprise another deserving student with a scholarship. Vanessa, are you excited?
I'm extremely excited, and on behalf of American Furniture Warehouse, we need to go find this amazing and deserving individual. What do you think?
Let's go. Hello, I am so sorry to interrupt class, but I am looking for Annasophia Danao. Where's she at? Awesome! You are our KPRC2 Senior Scholarship winner. I have been reading your background. You are so talented, so smart. Tell us about some of the extracurricular activities that you do here at the school.
So I've been in band for all 4 years since freshman year. Right now I serve as a drum major, and reaching up to graduation, I play the flute. I do Taekwondo as well. I'm a black belt. I've done Taekwondo for over 5 years.
You are going to the University of Texas. That's awesome. Was it Hook'em?
Yeah.
Oh, Hook'em. Tell us what you're going to be studying.
I'm going to be studying psychology, a bachelor's of science. I'm working towards to be a psychiatrist.
And you are inspired by your aunt. Tell us a little bit about her.
So my aunt, she is actually autistic. She's on the spectrum. She grew up in the Philippines, and that area, especially back then, there wasn't many resources for people on the spectrum there. So that's what I want to do. I want to specialize in pediatric psychiatry for the intellectual disabled, so I can work with kids who are on the spectrum and later on help with their cognitive abilities as they further grow into adulthood.
We're here today with
Annasophia Danao.
And Annasophia is our KPRC2 and American Furniture Warehouse Senior Scholarship winner.
Yes, congratulations, Annasophia and everyone
So bright.
at Spring ISD's Westfield High School.
Such a bright future ahead. Appreciate her so much. All right, all students considered for the KPRC2 American Furniture Warehouse Senior Scholarship were nominated by their high schools. You'll be able to check out today's surprise again at clicktohouston.com/scholarships. Okay, are we ready for this one?
Let's go for it.
I don't know
Have some
if
fun.
I am. Okay, this is one of the worst things that could happen to anyone at any time, but especially when you're driving down the road, and this happened to a woman in Missouri.
She was with her son on the way to baseball practice. Here you go. What came out of the hood? The head of a snake. This is apparently a baby black rat snake.
This is not a drill, people.
It's just a little guy. She and the son, they tried to get it off the car. It wouldn't go, so she drove to the school where she works, and a lot of the teachers came out. Apparently, even the superintendent. They were all hands on deck, folks. All right. And they finally removed the snake. They said they thought it mistook the engine compartment as its new home because it gets a little chilly at this part of Missouri, and it wanted to stay warm. That's how it ended up in the engine compartment.
It's a little warm in there. They are cold-blooded animals, so they have to thermoregulate using the heat around them. But more importantly, it's seclusion. It's a hidden spot. You know, whatever snake or this snake, when it crawls up in there, it thinks it's got a good hidey hole. Doesn't know that this hidey hole may be going 60 miles an hour down the road in maybe, you know, in a few hours.
Listen, as long as that hidey hole is not anyone's toilet, you know, like you're sitting on it or nothing like that, yeah.
Well, and the experts always give you suggestions like, well, what do you do in this situation? And the one that always pops up, it's like, oh, you just bang on the hood. Oh. And so before you drive, just bang on your hood, make sure there's no critters out there. I said, so this is what life is like up there.
I guess.
Before you leave for work, I mean, just bang on the hood.
I remember as a kid, when we go up to my grandparents' farm in northern Wisconsin in the wintertime, you'd have to bang on the hood because the cats would get in there, right?
There you
Because
go.
they'd get on the engine block because we would put blankets on the engine block and run them at night so that it wouldn't freeze,
To
right?
keep it
So,
warm,
right. So, of
wow.
course, cats get on there. But, yeah, I remember as a kid going in there and you just, bam, right on the side of it.
Come on, get
You'd
out
see
of
like
there.
4 cats just scatter. So,
We
but I
didn't
mean,
do
that was you.
We didn't do that in New Jersey.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking, it was like, 10 below zero, right? So that's some hardy stuff.
Somebody let the cats inside.
Yeah,
Jeez.
right.
What's
You know,
the
the
matter with you people?
best part is too, that snake probably went back to his snake friends and was like, woo, let me tell you my story, right? Holy smokes, fellas. Anyway, yeah, what a ride. All right, let's get you out the door this morning. We're looking pretty good. We actually see downtown, which is not what we've been able to do over the last 4 or 5 days with all those low clouds. So as that front came through and brought in the cooler temperatures for some of us anyway, you can see the 50s in Crockett, the low 60s out to College Station, low 70s in Conroe. And yes, I know we're still in the upper 70s. You're like, oh, what about us here in the metro? It doesn't feel as oppressive out there this morning. In fact, you haven't stepped out. Go ahead, open the doors, shoot the dog outside, and check it out. It actually feels pretty pleasant. And what we've also been tracking is this. Let me put this in motion over the last hour on our Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Talked to one of our viewers, Mike Jones out there in Fulshire, and he said, yeah, we actually got 1/8 of an inch of rain from this little cluster, and it's just kind of sitting right there, basically from just south of Katy Mills Mall, from Fulshire over to Simonton. So if you're in and around this area, just know if you're like, where's this rain coming from? That's it. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot going on out there. Maybe a couple of quick showers south of Rosenberg. So he said, well, why? Where's the rain? What's happening out here, Stapes? Well, look at this. This is the tail end of that front. That front is still moving over to the east coast, but the tail end of that is sitting just along our coastline, and you see things firing there south of Lake Charles. So that may mean some action for this afternoon for some of our counties across most of our coastal areas there. So Freeport down to Oyster Creek, for example, could get a little wet this morning, and then everybody else inland further north, you'll be fine. I don't think we're going to see much trouble at all, but notice it still continues to refire things here from Beaumont down to Winnie, Port Arthur over towards Bolivar Peninsula, and then maybe even into Galveston Island by this afternoon. So that's one spot. I added 20% just to cover that because obviously if somebody's seeing rain, then we need to make sure we put it in the forecast. But most of the area will be just fine. And in fact, we'll get up to about 90, 92 for today. Still a little above average, you see, but that's better with the feels like numbers in the mid-90s versus the triple-digit heat that we had seen the last 4 or 5 days. The little bonus area of high pressure near Dallas is keeping this low in check for now. But over the next 24 hours, we'll start to see that press southward. And as it does, it is going to bring another chance for a few showers and thunderstorms. We'll watch this stuff in northern Mexico, too. But mostly what we'll see is Thursday afternoon, evening, will some of those scattered storms will try to nose their way southward through the evening and overnight hours into early Friday. Now, as we get into the weekend forecast, we're going to put rain chances back up to about Sunday and into Monday. Another stronger front could mean a pretty bumpy forecast for Memorial Day, and it looks like that flips the pattern back to a little cooler, but a little stormier pattern going into much of next week.
All right, got to be ready for it. Justin, thanks. This crash here on the North Freeway still working at 621 this morning. This is the North Freeway headed inbound just after Gulf Bank Road. 3 vehicles now involved. It was reported 2 vehicles the last time we checked. Now 3 vehicles now involved. Look at this backup. This is a shot from Gulf Bank. Yeah, this is slow down. Cars are squeezing on by in the right shoulder, right lane. We're going to keep you updated on when this clears, but let's see if this is affecting our drive times. Ooh, we were down before. We were down to about 50 minutes. Now we're closer to an hour coming in from the Woodlands on the North Freeway headed inbound. Also a slowdown coming in from Kingwood at 29 minutes this morning. Coming up, the big event that will bring together Wienermobiles from all across the country.
Yeah, it's for something that's never been done before. Stay tuned.
Well, the FAA is temporarily cutting back how much traffic can fly in and out of Newark Airport in New Jersey. Under the new rules that are now in place, there will only be 28 arrivals and 28 departures every hour. The new rules are in effect until mid-June. After that date, it will go up just a little bit until mid-October, rather. The FAA says this will help with recent delays and staffing shortages and equipment issues at the airport.
Hey, big news from the NFL. The league has given the green light for players to take part in the 2028 Summer Olympics. Just not all of them, not all the players or the games. The games will be held in Los Angeles, and yeah, they've added flag football for the first time. NFL owners voted to only have one player from each team allowed to compete. The commissioner calls this the next step in making football a global sport. And now this, move over Formula One racing and whatnot, because there's a real race that's ready to take the track, and it might make you a little hungry.
Yep, Oscar Mayer has announced its plans to hold the first ever Weenie 500 race. This will consist of 6 Wienermobiles racing down the iconic Indiana Motor Speedway. Each Wienermobile will represent a different region of the country, like chili dog for the South or New York dog for the Northeast. Get your mustard and ketchup ready. The race is scheduled for this Friday.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see these guys
Get
tearing
your hot
around the
dogs
track.
ready. We were just talking about all the toppings that we love on our hot dogs.
All of them. Anytime I go to the ballpark, I get one of everything.
Right.
Whatever's
You can't just
available.
have
Ketchup,
one.
mustard, relish,
Here's
put it all
the
on
best
there.
thing. Wait till the Wisconsin bratwurst gets in there and it'll be like, oh yeah, don't you know? Let's go. Y'all think you're
word.
fast. Watch this guy right here, yeah? Anyway, let's get out to your Memorial Day weekend if you're going to be hitting the dogs or the dogs are hitting you, regardless of how you like to roll with it. Monday could be a little stormy. Thank you, sir. We'll get into those details and we'll talk about the rest of what could be a nice, refreshing break from the humidity today. You got to do what to find out? That's right. Bring some dogs with you, too.
Well, right now, AC issues continue for at least 4 Houston ISD schools. Coming up, how hot one student says it got inside the classroom.
And what caused the Houston Housing Authority to go more than $3 million over budget on an AC project that was never even finished? We've got the results of an independent investigation into those shady deals we first uncovered 6 months ago.
Plus, hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans are at risk of losing the temporary protected status, a concern one local Venezuelan woman is now sharing about the immigration rollback.
You're watching KPRC 2 News.
Well, good morning to you on this Wednesday. It is May 21st at 6:30. I'm Owen Conflenti.
And I'm Sophia Ojeda. It's
Wednesday, hump day!
Yeah, it's hump day. Getting over the hump. Hot and humid out there, Justin.
Yeah, it's not too bad. The humidity got cut with that front coming through. That's the good news.
Good.
So I even put in the little morning weather push that we put out every morning at 6 a.m. I said, humidity down for your hump day Wednesday, right? So
there it is.
Sure everybody's paying attention.
Oh, I got it right here on the phone.
I know, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, you do. Hey, nice to finally be able to see things this morning, too, after the low clouds and the patchy fog we've had over the last 4 or 5 days with that just mucky humidity. That got cleared out and kind of squeegeed out. And look at that. Nice little shot over into the West Loop, the Williams Tower from here at the KPRC 2 studios. And these temperatures, not bad for a good chunk of the area. We've got 63 up to Bryan College Station, 68 Livingston, low 70s in Conroe. A little warmer as you get down to the metro, but still, that 77 feels a lot more comfortable today versus yesterday when it was just stuck in that humid air. In fact, look at some of these numbers, all running below where they were this time yesterday as well. So for today, we're going to be watching temperatures get up to about 90, 92. Feels like numbers will be in the mid 90s. I do have a few shower chances down around the coast. We'll talk more about those. And of course, Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the weekend for sure.
Love
Justin,
the weekend.
thank you. Taking a look at this issue that we've been dealing with for a while now, that crash there on the Northway headed inbound at Gulf Bank Road. It was a 3-vehicle crash. It was causing a big issue there. Now has cleared. That's the good news. There is still a backup, though. Probably a backup to the backup and a slowdown as well. Let's take a look at our drive times. We are in the green. Just coming in from Baytown and Sugar Land, 43 minutes in from the Woodlands. That crash still affecting traffic there, and 29 minutes now in from Kingwood. Well, air conditioning and HVAC problems, it is an issue that Houston schools have been dealing with on and off for quite some time.
Yesterday, teachers and students at Harvard Elementary and Wheatley High School said it was way too hot for them to stay inside. Students left early. They left campus early at Wheatley High, for example. That's where we find Brittany Jeffers this morning. Brittany, good morning. Do we know if the problem's been fixed?
Yeah, good morning to you, Owen and Sophia. That's the big question this morning. We can tell you we saw HVAC truck company. Our reporters saw them out here yesterday afternoon, but we haven't gotten a response back from the district just yet. So we don't know if that AC unit is working at this point in time. We don't know what students can expect as they head here to the classroom this morning. But they do tell us yesterday it was a big issue, and they say they were feeling it. There was an email, students reported, that was sent out by the principal reading, "Our campus is experiencing issues with the HVAC system. Students are safe, and our district HVAC team is working quickly to address the issue. There's no need to pick up your students early, as we've taken all necessary measures to ensure a conducive learning environment." But yesterday, students told KPRC 2 reporter Devin Clark that it was difficult for them to concentrate.
It was real humid. It was, in one of the classes I was in, it was 90 degrees. Yes.
You mentioned earlier that there was like some condensation on the floor. That's how humid it was, and people were like slipping around. How safe did you feel in that environment and when you're trying to learn?
I really couldn't focus because it was so hot. So I had to like pull my shirt up a little bit because like it was so humid in there.
Now, as we've reported, the district has been dealing with HVAC issues for a while, and in the past, HISD has posted videos online showing the process of monitoring HVAC systems. Now, in the fall, I got a firsthand look at how technicians were working to assess and make repairs. We joined the energy and sustainability team with HISD as they performed scans on HVAC systems at various campuses. Now, here at Wheatley High School, it's still unclear at this point in time if the AC unit is back up and running. I have reached out to HISD officials to try to find out if it's been repaired, and if not, what the timeline is. We've also asked if there are any other campuses that are experiencing any issues. So as soon as we hear back, of course, we'll keep you updated. Live this morning near Wheatley High, I'm Brittany Jeffers, KPRC 2 News.
Okay, Brittany, thank you for that. Now it's 6:35. There's a lot of uncertainty in the Venezuelan community this morning. A Supreme Court order allows the Trump administration to strip temporary protected status from the group of hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans, even as the legal case continues.
KPRC 2's Kathy Hernandez is joining us live in Katy with how many are affected. Kathy, good morning.
You said it, many are affected. It impacts the lives of some 350,000 people from Venezuela, and they have been allowed to live and to work here in the U.S. and avoid deportation. Many of those immigrants are here in Houston, the third largest population in the U.S., and many of them right here in Katy.
Yes, I am studying English in Houston Community College. I am trying to be a good person.
Many immigrants like Carolina are feeling the same way after Monday's Supreme Court order. It directly affects a group of some 350,000 Venezuelans who were granted temporary protected status in 2023 for humanitarian reasons. Attorneys now representing holders said the Supreme Court's brief order raises questions, including exactly when they will lose their legal protections. In the meantime, a local immigration attorney suggests people talk to an attorney immediately because each case is different.
If you do qualify or you haven't applied for asylum yet and you do have that valid fear of returning to your home country, then it would be a good idea to do so as soon as possible.
And Molly actually also tells us it's very important for people to stay out of legal trouble at this time. We reached out to lawmakers, to the Harris County GOP, and they say this is that President Trump is now delivering on a promise he made during his campaign to clean up immigration laws. Reporting live in Katy, Kathy Hernandez, KPRC 2 News.
Kathy, thank you. Now at 6:37, a well-known political figure in Houston is no longer facing criminal charges. Dr. Stephen Hotze, a major GOP donor, had 4 cases dismissed by District Attorney Sean Tier's office. Yesterday, Hotze stood alongside his attorneys hours after the announcement. He had been charged with aggravated robbery and organized crime, tied to a 2020 incident where private investigators allegedly pulled a gun on an AC repairman, mistaking him for a ballot trafficker. Though Hotze was not at the scene, former DA Kim Ogg charged him. Well, Tier's office now says they cannot prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt.
I want to commend Sean Tier for dismissing my criminal case and ensuring that justice was done. For the last 4 years, Kim Ogg has waged lawfare against me because of my efforts to ensure voter integrity in Harris County, and I thank God that today I was vindicated.
One of the private investigators allegedly tied to Hotze, former Houston Police Captain Mark Aguirre, who had most of his felony charges dismissed. Aguirre is accused of ramming into the AC repairman's truck and holding the victim at gunpoint, believing there were ballots in the truck. HPD responded to the scene then and found none. Aguirre was originally charged with 5 felonies and now only faces 2 charges.
Well, only on 2, a Baytown mother says that she is now suing the Baytown Police Department for wrongful prosecution. Heather Guerra says that she was on her way to the beach with her 5-year-old son back in 2020 when her SUV crashed into a truck at the Baytown intersection of Decker and West Baker. After nearly 2 months, she says that she woke up from a coma to find out that she was charged with manslaughter in the death of her child. Investigators say that she ran the red light, causing the crash, but in the police report, officers said there weren't any witnesses, while a report later submitted to prosecutors claimed that witnesses had corroborated that evidence. In May of 2023, Harris County prosecutors dropped all charges, citing insufficient evidence. Guerra says that she does feel relieved now. However, after 5 years, she's finally mourning the loss of her son.
Because I still wasn't grieving the way I needed to. I was more focused on, I'm looking at 20 years for something I didn't do. I know myself. I know the mother that I was. I could not have drove crazy to do that, to cause that. much I did know.
State records show that 2 of the police officers involved in the lawsuit are still working for Baytown PD. A third officer left with more than 30 years at the department.
Well, we're still waiting to hear the cause of a chlorine chemical spill in Freeport. 1 of 4 workers at the plant remains in the hospital this morning. There was a shelter in place yesterday around 9 o'clock in the morning for the chlorine leak at the Dow Chemical Olin plant. Lake Jackson police say the leak was classified as a level 3, which means it was outside the facility grounds. Officials say 4 workers were taken to the hospital. They were exposed to the chlorine. Since then, 3 have been released. The 4th is still being treated. Union leaders say while leaks do happen, it's important to lower the risks by making sure the right people are hired for the right job.
We need to have the right amount of people in these jobs to maintain the plants. We need to have safety factors, make sure everybody's following their procedures. And then we have to make sure the people are trained.
Dow Olin has not yet identified the cause of the spill. They did release a statement about it, which you can read at click2houston.com. Now 6:41, the Houston Housing Authority Board just released the results of a third-party investigation into shady deals our 2 Investigates team exposed late last year.
Yeah, the board hired an independent law firm to review the bidding process and contracts for 2 projects under the former leadership of the Housing Authority. Investigative reporter Amy Davis is here with what the results revealed.
Yeah, so they just released these yesterday. We got to be honest, there are no major surprises, but it's confirmation of what we reported last November. HHA's board chairman, though, says getting this independent third-party review was important to make sure that the board understands what went wrong so it won't happen again. So the summary reveals the project to install window units at 3 housing projects in 2023 went $3.1 million over budget because of mismanagement, inexperienced and unqualified contractors, and a lack of oversight. It found contractors were paid for work that has not been completed even to this day. The Columbia Tap Trail project to connect CUNY homes with the walking trail left residents without tables, benches, and lighting that contractors were paid in full to install.
We were not the board who approved or oversaw either of these projects. The investigation has proven extremely helpful to our new president and his new leadership team, who have embraced the opportunity to strengthen our internal processes.
Now, former HHA President David Northern resigned last year in exchange for an agreement that the board would not investigate or reveal any wrongdoing by him. He is now the president and CEO of the Housing Authority in Flint, Michigan. So we wanted to know how much HHA spent on this third-party investigation. We did ask for those payments to the law firm, and they revealed we paid a little more than $24,000 for this investigation, which took them a couple of months to complete.
All right, again, no big bombshells coming out of it. It did confirm a lot of your reporting, though, of course. So what do we do now? What happens next?
Well, so this was an executive summary. They didn't release the full result because they say that part of those agreements, for example, with David Northern, they couldn't release some of that. So a lawyer looked at what they could reveal and give to us, but there certainly is more that they have not shown us. These are supposed to be like the major cliff notes, right?
Okay.
And then we know that if there is anything to that, an investigator could look at it.
Could look at it.
Yeah. So we're still following up on that.
And still nothing's fixed.
Right.
Well, they still have a lot of work to do.
They still have incomplete parts of those projects.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amy Davis, thank you so much. Well, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and for much of our stress can come from work. How to avoid the dreaded burnout when 2 News continues.